hurts the tongue, you're burned, so tune in right now. Like and share, our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Till your burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. Renew, step it all renews.
Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Listen, everybody, before y'all see who I got right there next to me. Y'all see, but before she introduces who she is, I need everybody to click, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Please do that. Drop in where you at in the chat, but click, like, share, and subscribe. Oh, we got DC in the house. So look, I have the senior most councilwoman of the Flint City Council, the Honorable Miss Jerry Winfrey, with the hyphen, y'all. Don't forget that hyphen.
Don't forget that hyphen.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And so we don't forget, we got producer Jay in the background, y'all. He is making sure he navigates all of this. So a lot has been going on. Look, click, like, share, subscribe. And listen, like, because it will push the algorithm out, because we going to talk about it. Producer Jay, are you ready? Somebody said, I know Tanya and JWC ain't had no sleep. Y'all, I ain't had no sleep. I don't take no dose. I don't take none of that. I have not had any sleep.
You know what I told you a couple months ago?
What?
You sleep when you're dead.
Oh, do we got to take it that far? Well, listen, I was told tonight I might get arrested. I was given a warning. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. So listen, we got Jersey in the house, and he's with a good evening, Christine Leach, JP6, Jessica Shua, Shayna Shepherd, Dollar Bill. Now D Love, look, why you wanna know? That's a whole lot to say. Listen, Patrick Jean, thank you for moderating. Beverly Barnes, baby girl. Oh, y'all, listen, what else? Ramon Striplet, Gutter Black. I just like saying that name, y'all. Y'all know I do. Diva Cam 13, Carson Neubauer, Tracy Gower. Is there a Gower or Gower? I don't want to mispronounce your name. AJ. Alicia Russell, yo, Alien Superstar. Look, our Murphy. Y'all, now, I can't keep up with the comments, but that's a blessing. But before we get Randall McGee, Gina Gio, I do want to start before we get into election. I did talk to Jedadiah's mom, Big Shady 11, about maybe within the last half hour. Her and I had a prayer. He is still at the county jail. He's doing well. We don't know when he's going to be released. Right now, it is for his charge that he's expecting to be is for what is it? Breaking the peace. What is it?
Disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace. So only in Flint will you get a no warrant was issued, first of all, but they did assign a detail to him, which I had a very interesting comment with the officers, and I could give a damn if they mad, because I'm serious. And that's really just where I'm at. And so he is at the county jail. The Flint jail is so old, you can't put anybody in there. Only thing that the city jail is good for is storing old boxes of papers and files. That's it. And then if you lock the jail thing, you might not be able to get back in them because the bars are so old. They've had to actually have someone come in to cut them out. So he is doing what he said good. He did say for the county sheriff, Sheriff Swanson, and the undersheriff, that he was being treated stellar, was his word, stellar, because they know this is some BS. So some of the things that I want people to know, I did tell his mom I will keep my phone on, because y'all know I'll jump in the Batmobile. I be moving them corners. Look, everything that's been in the seat and slid on the floor. I be like, I don't ride, folks, y'all. I be having to go. So if he calls in the middle of the night or whatever, because they will release you, we don't know when it's released. What they can do is hold him up to 72 hours. His charge is disturbing the peace. So as right now, the city of Flint has issued, they're trying, is what I'm told, to make it a felony, so they can charge him with it. They want him to go home. They want him to get out of Flint. They want him to go some other place but Flint. So we're gonna keep him in prayer, y'all. You're not, look, if we call tonight, I'm gonna go get him, and I want to say this: whether I agree with actions with the casket or not, you still have rights, and the Constitution and the laws, you don't break them. You don't have to like Jedadiah, his casket. Look, I was watching like y'all was. Like, did the wheel break? And so I was watching like y'all. I'm like, oh my. I'm like, wow, he was serious. He was serious. And so people protest all the time, except for you cannot in Flint. And the part that bothers me, they make up the law. What is the written law? Know your rights. And we're going to get into that. So Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, I'm going to turn it over to you. I want everybody to know that he is okay. Look, they hold him as long as they can't hold him any more than 72 hours. And so we just waiting on see what they can do. And they did tell me that if I ever come to I guess it's a crime scene that was in Mount Morris, that they're going to arrest me. Yeah. Okay. But we're going to get into that too. You know how I felt about that. Shit, do what you got to do. Look, first of all, y'all on a bogus charge and a whole nother township, find the person who calls on my phone and stalk me and talk shit. How about arrest the people who came to the Flint City Council chambers on October 14th and then had a conspiracy to incite a whole riot? They shut it down. How about do that? So they can miss me with all the old crazy stuff. You did this. I said, no, it was a difference. Because when I asked him for his badge number, it's the Black woman. It was different. But when Councilman Pfeiffer showed up, y'all, shout out to Big Fife. Big Fife did not have the shoes tied. That electric car was
my
like
guy,
zoom,
Big
zoom,
Fife.
zoom, zoom. Right. I looked down at his feet. He was on, and shout out to Billy Dancer, shout out to Tanya Jones, shout out to Michelle Young, shout out to Stephanie. I think Stephanie's her last name, Welch. She always attends meetings. Shout out to everyone who was on I-75 who came out to look out, because they tried to tell you cannot. And I'm gonna put up your laws with the ACLU. Don't ever tell me what I can't do when I know my rights. If you ever do it, you better have your shit right when you tell me that. He was wrong. I was not stopping him or his whole investigation. Now, when Pfeiffer came, Pfeiffer was like all hand off through the window talking to him. I'm like, oh, so the white man gets better treatment. But the squad that he has with the special unit, all white, problem for me. That is a problem for me. And especially with the comments that they said. And I don't think you ever controlling Black people and we're ignorant. Don't do that. That Chief Green needs to correct that. That was wrong. Wrong. Because I was at a distance. I never even talked to Jedadiah till after Dennis Pfeiffer went to that window and was sitting up there talking and said, well, I need your name. So I can't give it to you. So I need your badge number. Oh, my badge number is 509. Oh, I said, oh, that's interesting. So when the white man asks you, you give it. But when I asked you, you didn't. You're making this racist. No, you're the racist. And I'm calling you. And I don't give a damn about it. Because what if this was somebody else who didn't know? If he's a captain by etiquette, and then we're going to get into that stuff, we call him captain. If he is a sergeant, we call him Sergeant Smith or whatever, Captain Smith. If he's a lieutenant, it's Lieutenant Smith.
Right.
I'm elected. You call me Councilwoman Burns, okay? Because you were stopped someone out of your jurisdiction, didn't want to have, and it was all a retaliation leading up to the election. It was the election. So Jedadiah, not Jedadiah, Lord have mercy, he must be speaking of. Let's put up the Beverly Biggs picture. So I'm gonna let you take it over, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, the senior councilwoman.
Kudos to Miss Beverly Biggs Levy and AC Dumas. Girl, they did that, right?
They did it.
They did it. And I'm going to tell you, it's some angry people.
Yeah.
Walking around today at council meeting, you can tell.
Angry.
The atmosphere, oh my God, it was so thick.
It was
thick. Look at that.
So two tie in race for vacant Flint City Council seat, but unofficial merger is razor thin. So Beverly Biggs Levy and AC Dumas both received 165, which was really odd that they got the same number. And LaShawn Johnson, she received 162, and I think Rich received 20 something. I don't have the official 21. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he received 21. So one of the things I had spoke on in my podcast Sunday, this was 2 days before the election, and I was talking to Sheena about it, was restoring order. God restores order. Mm-hmm. Our residents have been kicked out, talked about, dragged. Look, Michael Clack has been arrested. Arthur Woodson has been arrested. Can you block Amy Hannigan, please? I'm not do the 24. I'm not dealing with any mess. I'm not doing it. You go on somebody else's page. When we talk about how God restores order, and that was one of the words that me and Sheena had talked about, Sheena Beckton, that I'm on the other station with. And so that was one of the things. So one of the things when we talk about, because people will send you stuff, someone sent me this, they both had the number 165. You don't see that they had the exact same number of votes that came up. So the number 165, they say, is divine order. Seeing 165 as an angel number is a sign all is unfolding in divine order and according to a higher plan. So y'all keep praying, because we know that things are unfolding and we are seeing things. We know that we will not be in the 5-person hell come August. And it's just time. It's time to change things. And I think we hoped for the best, which would be have both of them go through, which was my wish and my prayer. And so God, from my mind and my heart up to the Lord, he heard it. He heard it.
But you know what, Councilwoman Burns? How did she get so many votes?
What? The mayor took her. Wait a minute. Can you put up Councilwoman Winfrey Carter's post? Because I'm gonna let her read.
My thing is this: our people you gotta wake up and you gotta see this. This mayor is playing in your face. He's playing all in your face. First of all, the ambassadors, which in my opinion, that's illegal. Our charter doesn't say anything about ambassadors.
No.
Okay. So you knew it was something to this. He wanted to do this ambassador so that he can put her out there in front.
And he did.
Yeah, he did. Using the fact that he, appointed her as an ambassador so that he can put her out there in front, up front. And then, he parades her around. She's on every press conference. She's, at every ribbon cutting.
He was. He took her everywhere.
This. Anytime you see the people that he is around, you know that it's something to them. You better know it. He went out and he sought her out and said, "Hey, I need you to run for 3rd Ward Council. I'm gonna make you an ambassador."
He made
you're gonna be an ambassador for the city, for the 3rd Ward. Now, come on. If she's hanging around him, you know that she was going to get up there and be a rubber stamper. You got to pay attention to what's going on. You got to stay woke.
So can you read your statement? Because, if something was to tell the truth, to be informative, to create a timeline, to slay with the truth, you did it.
I said, City of Flint, 3rd Ward residents, please pay attention to what's going on. Has it ever dawned on you why the mayor is so heavily involved in the upcoming election for your 3rd Ward council seat? Ask yourself, do you want a rubber stamper in that seat? Someone who works at the will of the mayor? Or do you want someone who will work for you? Someone who will serve the will of the people? Isn't it strange that the mayor keeps parading LaShawn Johnson around at every press conference and community events? Since when did it become the mayor's job to campaign and promote a city council candidate? Let's be real. The mayor is pushing LaShawn Johnson because he needs that 5th vote on council. He needs 5 rubber stampers to continue pushing his agenda, not yours. He needs 5 council members who will go along with the chaos, dysfunction, backdoor politics, and corruption that's plaguing our city. Don't be fooled. Don't go for the okie doke. This election isn't just about a seat. It's about power, control, and your voice. Stay woke, vote smart on Tuesday, And I said the future of the 3rd Ward depends on you. It depends on the 3rd Ward residents.
I will be muting myself, y'all, because your girl's allergies is cutting up and I keep sneezing. So can you please put the pictures up, Producer Jay? Because Councilwoman Winfrey Carter literally wrote a picture and then with a timeline with all the pertinent information. And, as people hate to say, she's woke on this and she wants everyone else to be. It was informative. So if you can put the picture, because she had the pictures too. And when you put the pictures up, I was like, okay, so in case you can't read, Producer Jay.
Oh, let me go back to the thing and get them.
Okay. So when she put the pictures up, I was like, she's not playing. That's kind of like on her way back home.
You gotta show them. I was trying to find more.
Wait a minute. Because they had been everywhere with the garbage, with the YWCA. She'd have been everywhere he has been, which that's his candidate. Okay.
There she go. That's when he brought her out as the ambassador.
And you stated the city charter does not speak to being an ambassador. Right. The city charter states that any body, a multi-member body, y'all know I ain't got my charter on me right here. Any multi-member body is defined in the Flint City Charter. Any group or committee or ad hoc and so on of more than one person is considered a multi-member body. He was supposed to have 3. Yeah, look, there she go. You circled her?
Yeah. Girl, I took that little thing, and I took my finger and I said, there she is.
Okay. Why was this important to you to inform the people? Wait a minute, you did it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could have had a thicker line.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to practice that.
This picture says a lot. I mean, I'm just going. This picture says.
There's her daughter and there's her son back there.
Okay. Her daughter and her son. You got Councilman. Look, somebody tell Councilman Lee and El Alamein, we don't want to see that blue sweatshirt no more. That, sir, you are at a whole presentation where you're with the mayor. And how many times we didn't seen that blue sweatshirt? I mean, that is not proper attire for a ribbon cutting at all. I mean, come on. I mean, you got the mayor with his suit on, the gentleman next to him with the priority with his suit on, and he's a councilman. We didn't seen that blue sweatshirt at how just somebody take that blue sweatshirt from him. It just no, that's not proper attire. Put that vest on that you wear. He used to wear the vest. He's almost it's 2 outfits, the vest and that blue sweatshirt that looked like it came from Family Dollar. And so I need him to that's just not no. He needs to dress for success. He does. So what are other pictures? That whole picture thing. Okay.
I just, you know what? I really wanted to put something out there for the third ward, you know, so that they can see it. I want you to see this. This is happening. This is real. You got to wake up and you got to see this stuff.
It is real.
It's so obvious.
And it's real. It's real. You know, and so you put together, and now you also did the stroke of the pen on your way back from St. Louis.
I was mad. Oh, girl, I was angry. Ooh, I was angry. Ooh, and I was sitting there on the passenger side. Ooh. And I was writing in my notes on my iPad, and I had to get my notes, line them up. Girl, I was angry.
So you made a post after there were 2 posts made that Councilwoman Liddell Lewis and Bishop Christopher Martin really had about the same post. And in their post, they stated we were line dancing. I brought Jedadiah here. I planned the line dance. I keep telling them, look, if I'm going to plan this, what I would have did is do a dance I could do. That ain't it. That dance I got the fan down. I can do the fan, y'all.
I can't even open the fan.
I got the fan down. I got the fan. I got the to the left, 1, 2, 1, 2, right. I can do the cross, the first the right leg, 1, 2, 3. The kids taught it to me over whatever holiday we just had. Easter. That's all I
can't get it. I
got the crossover. But look, don't let me get on it. Then I'm gonna do it in the front. People have to take those are the, like you have stated, it's the people's chamber. It's the people. They would not come to their seats. They were waiting over like an hour and 35 minutes. They weren't coming back, y'all. They were not coming back. And so they just said, hey, let's do this. They didn't, the clerk didn't have no, and the police were there. The police had no problem. There was zero disturbances. There was zero disrespect. And Bishop Christopher Martin, Liddell's pastor, wrote a lying statement that I brought them here by the busload. And if anybody's on here from Illinois, Dalton, Thornton, Chicago Heights, Harvey, Forest Hill, Flossmoor, anybody that's on here, thank you for showing sisterhood and support from Illinois to Michigan. Thank you. But they took it, they turned something that was not bad at all. They didn't want the residents to speak. They keep shutting the residents down from speaking. And that's a problem for me. So you decided to take pen to paper after he wrote the lying thing. And I don't remember what I wrote because mine was written out of frustration in the middle of the night by the time I seen it. But you had a very nice post that you made. And I don't know if producer Jay can find that one because it was so good. You even came back with the clapback and writing.
And my thing was, and I was trying to get him to see, look, why are you stepping out for this? And it's so many other things that you could have posted about.
Mm-hmm.
How come you didn't post about that insurrection we had in that council chamber?
October the 14th.
Yeah. Why you didn't post about that?
He's been mute about that. Mute.
Why you didn't post when your church member got up, stood up, ready to fight 2 men?
She wanted to fight me too in April of 2022.
Right.
But she wanted to, so she has
why you didn't write about that?
Mm-hmm. So you wrote.
Why you didn't say anything when she cursed out your fellow clergyman?
Not once but twice.
Yeah. And she told him shots fired.
And
I had to call my daughter and say, hey, what do shots fired mean? Do that mean somebody gonna shoot up your house? And my daughter said, Ma, no, that's not what it means. It means, I'm getting ready to get back at you.
Okay. So I don't know can you read that, Councilwoman?
I can't see that. I can.
Can you blow it up and you can take us off the screen? Blow it up.
I can pull it up on my iPad.
So you wrote, and I was like, when you really look at somebody's reading, because you put thought, you did a timeline, you took it from A, B, C, D, you had content, you made it clear. You made it clear. Yeah.
So let me see. Let me find it. So I said, Bishop Christopher Martin, let's be clear. Before making baseless, performative posts about what's happening at Flint City Council meetings, come to a meeting and see it for yourself. Because right now you out here loud and wrong. I said, I don't even know. Look, I don't even know how I got that, but I was girl, when I wrote this, I was so angry. Okay. And I was trying to keep it professional, but you know, I wanted to use some words.
Well, you did.
So I said, no council member orchestrated a line dance, and no council member bussed in anyone from Chicago. Jedadiah Brown and the residents of Dalton, Illinois came on their own to speak truth about unethical behavior and abuse of power, something that Flint residents experience far too often. I said, if you're looking for something to be embarrassed about, let's start with your own church member, Councilwoman Liddell Lewis. Point 1. She voted to give her own nonprofit organization, the Service Park Neighborhood Association, $75,000 in ARPA funds. That is a direct conflict of interest, completely unethical, and a blatant violation of the city charter. The next point, she attempted to physically fight 2 men during a council meeting, causing a complete disruption and violating the decorum expected of an elected official. That behavior was totally inappropriate and unacceptable. I should have used their term, unbecoming of a council member. Then I said, she has repeatedly weaponized the police against residents, having people removed from council chambers simply because they voiced concerns or disagreed with her. That's an abuse of power. She disrespected and cussed out a fellow clergyman whose church is right down the street from your house of worship, Cathedral of Faith, not once but twice, making a complete fool of herself and embarrassing the office she holds, and not to mention embarrassing you as her pastor. She falsely accused a fellow council member of calling her a monkey, a claim that was completely out of context and untrue. And yet you defended her lie, helping to push a false narrative that attempted to paint another council member as a racist. That was reckless, divisive, and wrong. You should be embarrassed by that too. And let's not forget, Councilwoman Lewis orchestrated the chaos and insurrection that happened during the council meeting on October 14th, 2024, which endangered everyone in the council chamber. But you weren't embarrassed about that, were you? You want to talk about dereliction of duty? The Special Affairs Committee meeting on April 14th, 2025 was adjourned due to a lack of quorum and because certain council members didn't want to hear from the residents. And while waiting for the city council meeting to begin, before and after attempting to call the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. and going into a recess to establish a quorum, residents took a moment to lift the heavy mood and boost morale in the chamber by doing a line dance. After, they took the podium to voice their concerns, as is their right. Again, I want to point out that the line dance did not happen during the meeting. So let me say this again. Attend a council meeting before spreading misinformation. What's truly embarrassing is watching people who don't know the facts get on social media and play the part of concerned citizen, all while turning a blind eye to the unethical, chaotic, and dangerous actions of someone that they blindly defend. Don't get loud on lies, get informed. So it goes on.
Wait, hold on. Look, I'm gonna have to give you, look, I'm gonna give you 2 fans up. You read him. And this is the part that they don't get. We sit in them seats and be abused with your language, throwing the residents out, throwing us out, removing us from our seats, lying, voting on their own non-profits, being their own fifth vote.
Pranks being played on us. I roll up to the council city hall one evening to park in my parking space, and it was a car parked in my parking space. It was Eva's car. Now you know her and Liddell planned that.
Absolutely. You are 100% correct. So how you wrote that, it was very eloquent. You made your points. You went strong when you needed to, and it was really, really good. It was good. It was good. And thank you for saying this was wrong. What he posted about Tanya, and let me support her. Thank you for that.
You know,
we support each
do
other.
that.
It's like Dennis showed up last night, in his daddy jeans, and he have his shoes tied. Look, he broke some records in that electric car, and I appreciate that. But look, they do not treat Black women the same as they treat white men when someone is being pulled over. And you can't, and people they can't, he wasn't pulled, he was pulled over, but that was Flint for a disturbing the peace. So these are the things why I say congratulations to AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs, because that was the best outcome. But now we have a choice. No more rubber stamping.
Right.
No more rubber stamping. And they are not taking it well, which is why I feel Jedadiah got arrested. Because number one, a producer Jay, you can protest anywhere. You can. Now, and NAACP did a thing with the casket. Yes.
Oh, you called me. I was just.
Oh, can you put up the White House? Or did I send you the one with the White House?
I
did.
You didn't send that one.
Huh?
You didn't send that one.
I'm gonna send it to you now. Listen, today been a lot, so I'm sending this to you now. So part of your freedom of speech is you can protest, except for in Flint. Now, for this, I don't whatever. Look, I was watching like everybody else. I don't know where that man got a casket from, and that wheel coming off. Or broke or whatever.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm still trying to visualize them pushing the casket from the city hall.
They did
to Neely's residence.
They and I have not watched the full video. When I get a moment, I am going to. But as we can see here, if you can protest at the White House, and if you don't want people to protest at your house, get out of politics. Get out of it.
Right.
Because this is a part of politics. If they protest at which has a private residence, they can protest anywhere. And the police actually were there. I thought they would have blocked the street. Flint police did not block the street. They did not block the street. So if you can protest at the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, but you can't. You better not go on his street. They's not having it. And I don't know where this man got this casket. I don't know how they made that wheel. And the police were there. So I want everyone to understand this. I don't know. And he's going to explain what his reasoning is. He speaks for himself. But the police were there. Why didn't they arrest him then? You had two marked police cars and two unmarked police cars the entire time he was there. They did not arrest him. They didn't ask him to leave. They didn't issue him no ticket. Why? He hadn't broken any laws. He had not. So they're saying that the neighbor next door, which I believe is a relative, filed a complaint. And the house next door, which is a relative, filed a complaint. Okay, so when do we arrest people for disturbing the peace? I mean, we had over 10 children that were shot last year. Did they solve all those homicides? We had, last I checked, I think it was over 150 unsolved homicides. Have you solved Joe Pettigrew's dad's homicide? How about that? You got time to send a whole team on this? Joe Pettigrew been waiting for his dad, Sidney Pettigrew, his murder to be solved. How many unsolved murders does Chief Green and the police department have? But they put a whole team on this. You know how many parents and how many everybody who has followed me knows I have followed and kept track of the kids and the young people. We have a gang problem being shot. I have shared that with y'all. He told me during the budget we didn't need a gang task force. So why didn't the police ask him? They were there. And in the, I don't know if producer Jay can find the video, you'll see them. There were two marked Flint police cars. They didn't arrest him. He was on the sidewalk. He didn't knock on the door. He didn't go in the driveway. And so they told him in the video when I asked them, what is he, arrested for? He's being arrested. I said, for what? What, possibly disturbing the rest? What the hell is that? I mean, they're holding this man without charging him for anything, which will be a lawsuit. And it will be a lawsuit. Mm-hmm. You can't run this city like it's Nino Brown. Laws and your rights matter. And they, except for here in Flint, which they told me the next time that if I ever come to a scene, which I was there to pick up people, that I will be arrested. This is what they told me tonight. Y'all know how that didn't go very well. And then I had to remind them, as we were talking, and I had no right to ask him for his badge number. I said, that's not true. And then they told me how many shares that the videos had, and they were upset about it. Okay, I stood my distance. I did not touch Jedadiah or go up to the car until after Dennis Pfeiffer was at the car. I did not intervene, and you have a right to stand there and stand back. I didn't have to go to my car. I did not. They lied. So I want people to know their rights, okay? And I told them, don't you ever talk to me like that. You're not going to do that. You were given a courtesy as a council person. Well, let me tell you what I have done for the police. When I got on there, it hadn't passed. We finally had 5 votes. They hadn't got any hazard pay. Guess who led that? Me, Mays, and Jerry Winfrey Carter, making sure police officers were giving their pay. They hadn't got it. They had that pay there for 2 years, hadn't got a damn thing. I got a call that the sergeants pay, and I think it was the sergeants and some other, I forget how many. Mm-hmm. The pay had been held up for like 2 years. I said, well, let me backtrack this and figure it out. Make sure they got their pay. I was like, oh, this is what happened. Got them their pay. And so when it comes to anything, please, I haven't held up. Now they on some straight garbage. So can you put that picture back up, please? So with this, unless producer Jay, you were going to put, do you have any of the video footage? Because rolling that, people were taking pictures. Do you have any of the video footage?
So I'm looking for the footage, but I can't find it anywhere. So I don't know if it's been taken down or.
Did you look on Jedadiah's page?
I did. I'm on his YouTube channel now. I don't see it anywhere.
Okay. Who else would have had some? Did you? Really? They took it down.
Yeah, it's nowhere on his YouTube channel. I'm looking now, trying to find it. And if somebody has a link or something, they could pop it in the chat. I could probably get it.
With them walking with the casket up and down the street. So, it's, and these pictures were taken. Flint Journal posted this picture, and 12 News ran it tonight. 12 News ran it tonight. So,
oh, really?
I mean, yeah, yesterday, I think, was it yesterday? They ran the story. It's on their page with the casket in front of the house. It's a story. ABC 12 News ran the story. And so one of my questions was, and I asked them, I said, well, why did you wait to get him at I-75 in Mount Morris Township, Pearson Road? Right when you go onto the ramp to go southbound. And they stopped.
That's where.
Yeah. So they called me. They had informed me they were going to leave him on the bridge. And people need to understand, I'm not out there just running into calls. And when people don't take the time, if you want to know the truth, then you call me. Because you're lucky. It's just to the point they need to understand. police have a job to do. They called and said, look, they're towing the car on a possible disturbing the peace. And I think he was in the back seat. He wasn't even driving. And he had other people with them. And I mean, just the part that they completely violated his rights. What they didn't want me was their videotaping. You have a right to videotape. You have a right. Can you put up the rights of, I sent it to you, the AC, American Civil Liberties Union, know your rights. You can videotape. I didn't have to go to my car. I was hotter than a whole tin or a bucket full of hot fish grease. Because what if they think they did me a courtesy as a person who's an elected official? How do they treat everybody else? We know this same group of people went over to Hasselbrink. Y'all saw the videos. 10 police cars were there at Hasselbrink for some seniors moving flower pots and benches. So is this the mayor's personal goon squad? Is the mayor using the tactical team as his personal goon squad? I'm going to speak about it. And if they had to arrest, I told them, arrest me. Now, when Pfeiffer walked up to that car, Producer Jay, do you have the rights part?
I'm working on it.
Okay. When he walked up to the car. I'm like, oh, this is what you do when you're a white man. And Pfeiffer's my guy or our guy. And he talked to Jedadiah at the window. It was non-threatening. The guy says, when Pfeiffer says, well, what's your name? I can't give you my name. In a very calm tone. He said, well, what's your badge number? Oh, my badge number is that. And I said, oh, you tell the white man that your badge number, but you wouldn't tell me, argued with me. But when the white man did it, and yes, it's racist, and I did cuss him out, but my camera was off. I definitely did, because I cannot breach his peace. I did not approach that scene, and I was not nasty. They were nasty and disrespectful.
He was very nasty.
Very nasty. Very, very nasty. And that other little goon squad, they done pissed me the hell off. So Chief Green got a whole goon squad of white officers in the black city. He needs to be getting some black officers on there and teach them some diversity training. Because what they not gonna do is talk to me. I don't ever approach the police disrespectfully. Now, he couldn't just stay on the bridge. These people don't even live in Flint. They don't know where to go. Where they gonna go? Where they go? They don't even live in Flint. And so tonight they said he needs to go home. He needs to get out of here. So I'm thinking,
didn't he say they need to go? He needs to go back from where he came from.
So to me, right, where he came from. So what the hell does that mean?
What you mean by that?
Africa? So when you don't have diversity training, then it's a problem. And so I was lucky, and it kept trying to reiterate what I should be, you should have been, then you should have arrested me. You should have arrested me because I know my rights, okay? So in knowing our rights, because if you don't know your rights, they will just run all over you, and to threaten, literally to tell me what I did not go. They knew I was coming. They were leaving them abandoned on a bridge, and they were not coming to pick them up. They basically get home the best way you can, basically is what it was. And so I want people to know your rights because they just telling you whatever. So according to the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, what you can do if you think you are witnessing police brutality. I'm not saying it was brutality. I'm saying they was on a bullshit stop. Let's say that, because they should have got them the day before. And I asked them, why didn't they? They said, because we could do it on the drug house. We wait and do it on the drug house. Well, you know what? I'm not liking their little stuff. Chief Green, get your shit in order.
They could have got him yesterday during the day.
He was right there. You couldn't miss him. He was the guy with the casket and the bullhorn. You couldn't have missed him. And
but if they didn't get him then, they could have got him yesterday during the day.
Well, they had surveillance on him. Yeah. Yeah, find Sidney Pettigrew's killer. How about that? And all these other unsolved homicides. You getting somebody on a disorderly conduct. So I don't know what Jedadiah's thing was. As far as resources, they often put them in the wrong place. So here we go. What can you do if you're witnessing police abuse or brutality? Stand at a safe distance if possible. Use your phone to record video of what is happening, as long as you do not interfere with the officers and what they are doing, and do not stand close enough to obstruct their movements. I was not obstructing. Jedadiah was in the back already of the car. I stood off to the right. I asked him, and the Flint police are lying. He was already in the car. I didn't go up to the car until after dinner, and I said, so the white man get to go up to the car and get your badge number. He gets to go up to the car. And they had some little nasty attitudes tonight. They had some nasty ass attitudes. And so it states, you can record the video of what happening as long as you do not interfere. I was not interfering. I was not trying to stop him. He had already been arrested. Now, everybody who came out there, thank God, I think it made a little nervous when you got other people watching, when they're abusing their position, their power, and their authority. They were abusing their position, their power, and authority. And as a Black woman, I take offense to any white man telling me something that was a lie about the law and threatening me with arrest. You on some straight bullshit, and I'm going to say it. Anybody else they would have arrested. So you got a 10-person, it's a goon squad, is what they're calling it. And they're white people telling and threatening me to arrest me. Chief Green, get your shit together. So it states, as long as you don't interfere with what the officers are doing and do not stand close enough to obstruct their movements. I did not do that. You have the right to observe, record events that are plainly visible in public spaces. Okay? You have the right to observe and record events that are plainly visible in public spaces. Do not try to hide the fact that you were recording. I wasn't, y'all. Police officers do not have a reasonable expectation of privacy when performing their jobs. They do not have a reasonable expectation of privacy in public when doing their jobs. But the people they are interacting with may have privacy rights, which require you to notify them that you're recording. I wasn't close enough to the car to even record him then. I couldn't record Jedadiah to the white man, to Dennis Pfeiffer was up there. And they gave the badge number. So in many states, so that's what the ACLU, I want you to know your rights. I want you to know your rights. And so I like I said, I could not even see. Okay, this I'm gonna send this to you. Thank you, Debbie Thornton, the twins. So whatever, I'm sending you some video footage. Okay, they know our streets and sidewalks is bad. They know it. I'm not saying I agree with the casket thing at all. That's the, I don't know what he was doing. So what his thing was doing, I think Sheena had said that the symbolic of saying we're going to put the crime and the corruption to rest. So one of the other things before you do, I sent you a picture of the NAACP. And the NAACP, when they decided to bury the N word, producer Jay, did you get that one?
I got it. 1 sec.
So it is something that is symbolic that has been used. So Jedadiah has to explain himself. You know, I don't speak for him, and he won't speak for me, and I'm quite sure he'll speak for himself. I know that there have been 5 people who have been arrested, and the mayor has targeted using the police. Michael Clack. Yeah, leave that up when I say Arthur Woodson. And Arthur Woodson is suing because they detained him for 60 hours and never, I don't think they even charged him with anything. Look, we're just going to mess over you and take your time just because we can. You can't do that. They did Danielle Green. They did Kevin Tay. And now they're doing Jedadiah. So this is the NAACP. I'm symbolic with the casket, and they did a march. Now, people will say it's not in front of the house. No, it's not. And you have to speak to him about that. You will have to do that. As an elected official, the governor was protesting in front of her house. The White House, they protest. Can you show the other slide with the end of and this is the Shutterstock. I do not own. Can we slip the other one up? Because I like to give context. Oh, I sent you another one with the NAACP with the N-word. They said they were burying the N-word. So here's, I think, was when he was burying corruption. I have not seen the entire video. I have not had the time to. But the police didn't arrest him. They didn't.
Right.
So here is the mark where they were, the NAACP burying the N-word. They no longer were using the N-word. I think this went down, was it in the, oh God, I can't remember, was it 2009 or something? I have to look up the year. And so it was symbolic. People don't like the mayor. And we can tell it did not help LaShawn to win that race. People did not want to, that mayor didn't help her. Not at all. He took her everywhere. He drugged LaShawn around everywhere. And it didn't help her. She should have ran on her own, actually. She would have did better. That's what she should have did. So people don't like the mayor. People don't like how he moves and his negativity. They don't like that the council members are voting on their nonprofits to give $25,000, $50,000, $300,000. That his friends are, he wants to give them money for the summer jobs. I mean, it just goes on and on. So can we play the video with them? I mean, I haven't seen this video and I haven't seen can we play the video? So we're going to let him, as he's getting that ready, the Jedadiah will have to explain. I understand that he would be offended. I get that, but as a public official, look, I quit cutting my grass because it takes me 15 minutes to cut my grass. If somebody else cut, I'd be out there for like 3-4 hours. Literally, if I throw a cup of coffee on the front yard, I done watered it. But it takes forever because residents stop to talk to me. And I never get it done quickly. But I enjoy talking to the people. The residents know that they know where you live. It is what it is. And if you want privacy and seclusion, you should not be in public office. They protest the White House. Okay.
What is that place? Martha's Vineyard and places where they go out in front of and protest there. So I mean, this is nothing new.
Right. They do it all the time. And so I mean, and I'm not speaking for Jedadiah. Jedadiah, I wouldn't do that. He can explain himself when he get out of jail. But this is going to be another lawsuit that they're going to be negotiating a settlement with because they broke the laws. The laws are there for a reason. A person's First Amendment right, freedom of speech, right to protest. He's an elected official. They have a right to do that. Look, what I would have did is went out, if they protested, I'd be like, look, let me talk to you. What is it that I can do to change this? What is it that you feel so strongly about that you are in front of my house with a casket? Not cool that you did this, but let me see tell me what is it that you feel the residents are upset about, that when you have 15,000-20,000 views and a lot of them are from Flint, what is it that the residents are telling you? Because clearly he has a following. Clearly his pick did not make it in the 3rd ward. His pick did not make it. And that's a strong statement saying no more Neelys. Now, it was close, but he did a lot of work in that. She was at it. Look, she was at ribbon cuttings. We can't go to. We don't even go. We don't go. They don't even let us know where the ribbon cuttings are. They don't let us know.
She right up in there.
Every ribbon cutting. She was at a ribbon cutting. She was busy. Then she had a whole free town hall at the old Bunch School where that room was full. I didn't go. I was busy. And so he campaigned with her, and she didn't win because God is trying to restore order. I don't feel sorry for Mayor Neely. I don't like him. I don't. He's not a nice person. He's a habitual liar. I went through some things. He had they took my homestead. He had them taken. Literally, y'all, I was at the county fighting back. And they said, "Look, come in here." Let me tell you. They outright lied and said, "Look, they're lying. We can't take your homestead. That's at the city." Because they kept trying to say, "I ain't live where I live." Do you know how many people have been to my house? Everybody. I shared with y'all. And then when the campaign trails, Mayor Weaver, my house was one of the stops for some reason. Everybody would stop to just sit around and, 4 minutes, they on to the next thing. Because your home is supposed to be welcome. Everybody can come on to the college house. Come on to the college house. And I remember saying to, I told you I had an Apple track on my car. I live where I live. Now, if you want to look, my grass need cut and I need some fertilizer. I already got it. Y'all can go put the fertilizer on, and I need some grass seed down there too. I got everything. Stop by and hook it up. I already got it. But when you are a public official, my residents knock on my doors. And some have been attorneys that live on, and I don't get offended. Why? That's what when you in public office. Now I got an alarm, I got some cameras, and I'm licensed to carry, but ain't nobody, you know the people. But that's part of being an elected official, availability. If you want a life of seclusion, get out of public office. And why didn't the police didn't arrest him? He didn't break the law. He didn't break the law.
But wasn't it a coincidence that he got arrested after the election?
Oh, because he was mad as hell.
Oh, yeah. He was that little man was at home throwing all kind of tantrums.
He was fighting the air, spinning in a circle. Like, how I lose? I took her to every ribbon cutting. I took her to the YMCA. I took her to the land bank stuff. I took her she didn't did a whole, let's see, look, LaShawn, let me know if you into it now, you're going to finish that litter thing. If your heart is in it, look, call me. I'm going to help you. That's going to show if your heart going to be in it for the next year, because they created a litter league. Let's see if she's going to show up for that litter league. That Liddell done put her in. She probably said, y'all get that out of my face with that litter league. Y'all told me I was going to win. Y'all lied to me. So let's play the video, because some of this stuff, it was, and I'm talking about the trip down, because people from all over were sharing these videos with them walking with this casket, and they walked from City Hall to the Mayor's Street. We may not like it, but you are a public and elected official. Your information is public. So can we play it, Maestro?
I was live on TikTok, but they said I was in violation, although I was not. I was simply just following. So here we are back on Facebook.
Y'all, now you can hear the wheel saying I'm tired. The wheel. Now this is Shante Murchison's video. Thank you, Shante. Yeah, they going by the federal building.
Mayor's house. Yep.
Get in the caravan.
Huh?
And Tanya, while this was going on, I was at the grocery store, right?
Cross Street.
I kept getting all these calls. I'm like, what? My mother was calling me. And I said, well, I gotta call her back.
They just calling, they don't know.
Groceries.
Huh?
They actually
The casket? Nobody's in the casket. There's no person in the casket. No.
somebody in the casket. Oh
no!
no!
Somebody was in the casket.
Got 3 police crews. I need to turn here. Yeah.
Nancy, I said people were joining. People were joining. And let me tell you, if the people who should be out protesting are the ones who need the most services, you know, finding
We over here.
council. Lord have mercy.
Listen at the wheels.
The wheels is not happy. Lord, now they know our streets is bad. That's right. Wait a minute.
But they moving out with that casket. Look how fast they walking.
They're moving. I was like, I can't believe it. Shante Merson, thank you for
I
your
was live on
video.
TikTok, but they gave me a strike, said I was in violation. Although the things that they said I was in violation for, I definitely did not do. We've just been out here walking. And so, yeah.
Stephanie said you sound like a Walmart cart. They do. Why I always get the cart that don't work? I hate going to Walmart too. And it seems like I always get the cart with the one wheel that won't roll. That'd be so bad. And I hate going there. So
But look how fast they walking.
they was moving. And I think one of them, Tito, stopped and took a cigarette break. I swear
I thought Tito was mad.
got me out here pushing a casket down the street past a federal building.
I know Tito was cussing.
Well, you know it was. Oh.
Burns, check your message.
Oh, okay. Listen, if you are enjoying this, look, click like, share, and subscribe. And look, tip, producer J, Cash App, $ producer J 1987. Check the bottom of the scroll. Because we didn't plan this. So tip the producer for $ producer J 1987. Stephanie said they speed walking with the casket. They really were. I'm sick. That's my first time.
Share. Flint people, come down here. Support. The only way there's change is if we stand up and we do this together.
So how far? So the wheel didn't burn. So listen, Shante Murchison has the video. We will clip it. And share it because I don't even know. Did anybody time how long it took? Shante, she's in here. Thank you for sharing. Shante, how long did it take for y'all to make it to your destination? So people joined along the way, I guess. So them wheels. The wheels on the wheels on the casket go round and round.
We can't make this stuff up.
You can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
No, you can't. And so people
Burns, you know, sometimes we'll get on the phone, I'll call you or you'll call me, and we'll just start laughing. I wake up every morning. I can hear that Twilight Zone music.
And that's what it's felt like the last couple of days. Yeah. And look, that casket was moving. You know, Jedadiah said he's going to speak for himself and explain, you know, what the casket, what it meant, because they've tried to say there were 2 sets of signs, I believe. One, until you do right by me, everything you do was crumble. And then another sign was until you do right by Flint, everything will crumble. And on the casket was the Flint one. Jason Parker said, we want to hear from Shante. Shante, if you want to call in, you're welcome to call in. The number is, someone can pop it in. The West name is 810-471-7849. So Shante, if you want to call in, dial 810-471-7849. Because Tanya Burns would look. First of all, if that was that's not the things I got other stuff to do. Probably would have did it a little different. I would have hung the casket with the names of the individuals who were killed by homicides and murders. I would have put the 2 Mitchell children, little boys that died, that the case is still in court. I would have put in there the issues that Flint is facing. I would count up the number of residents. So maybe he's going to talk about this. I don't know. So when they try to say Tanya Burns didn't do this, but I sure watched you like everybody else.
Everything, Tanya.
I do for everything. I do.
You bust all them people in from Chicago too.
Right. And then I can't do
on a council salary.
So listen, 810-471-7849. Shante, that's the number, 810-471-7849. This is the only part I got it where the fans at. Where them fans
I can't even open the fan.
I got that part. That's all I got, y'all.
I put the link in the chat too if she wants to come on now.
Oh, Shante, you can come on. He put the link if you want to come into the chat. You want to come in. Because she brought a bus load. I ain't bring no bus load. I got bus load money right now. So this is
orchestrated a whole bus load
Shante,
to come
hey,
down with it.
How are you? So tell us. Good. So tell me what made you join that.
Personal reasons. I had gotten some threats, and it was almost, I guess, to kind of get me to stop supporting, and I'm not that one.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you think I'm just going to be quiet or stop standing up for what I believe is right because you are trying to scare me, and I'm not that.
Okay, so you stood up for yourself. So why is Flint so important to you?
Oh, that's easy. For me, well, I'll have to tell you what really kind of got me started is when I had to start dealing with a friend of the court.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed some things that were not okay in my own personal situation. But then I thought there's people who's dealing with situations that are so much worse than mine, especially as it concerns children. And because I am a mother, because there are a lot of kids here that are hurting, I say, you know what? No, I have to stand up and do something and be a part of it, bring some type of awareness. And so I started learning, and I started showing up, and I started talking to people and, trying to do what I can. And with Jedadiah coming here, and then, just also meeting some really other awesome people along the way, it has become easier to stand up for what I believe in, especially as it concerns children. And then another thing for me is most of my family is here on my mother and my father's side. And so they are very important to me. And then Flint is where I'm from. I was born here. And so I want to see it thrive and do better.
So here's a question. How y'all fix that wheel?
Oh, look.
Everybody want to know. I'm just saying.
So good. I don't know. They had a ribbon. We had 2 belts. They found some string on the ground. I don't look.
They found some string on the ground.
That's a DIY job if I ever see it. All right, we roll.
Oh God, I didn't know that. Because I was just out when I'm like, wait a minute. Do they know how them kind of wheels they are on Flint streets and sidewalks?
And the guy told us, he said, y'all done lost a lot of screws. This just the one with the wheel.
Oh, wow. So the stuff was falling apart as y'all was on the road.
It was falling apart while we was going. We didn't notice it. We was just gone. I'm tired. I was just trying to keep up. I said, oh, Lord, what am I doing out here?
Now, y'all notice Jedadiah didn't have them little slides on. He had some boots on the ground. Look. I'm running wrong. He had some boots on.
Y'all should have stopped midway and did the line dance. Boots on the ground.
They was like, girl, what is you thinking? I said, look, I'm going to figure it out when we get there. Come on, let's just roll.
Okay.
And I was there. It was about us showing up and supporting Jed, supporting the people. But I'm a person where I believe change has to start with somewhere, and even if it starts small, that's okay. But it has to start somewhere. It's either going to be one day or day one.
Right. So here's another question. Yeah. So the sign on there, because one of the things they're trying to say in the article said that that the sign that they felt threatened, and nobody wants nobody at the door. So listen, can I call when folks come to my door? Listen, my neighbor will be at my door tomorrow to borrow my lawnmower. I don't even cut my own grass no more, but I let him use it because he keep his cut. So the sign, how did y'all keep the sign up on that? Was it taped? Because it didn't fall.
It did not fall. So what they actually did while we were still at City Hall is they just opened up a part of the casket a little bit, and they stuck it in between like the cracks of it, and so it just stayed there once they opened it up, and they closed the casket so that the sign could stay there. So I didn't see anybody use tape, but they got it there, and it survived the road. Surprisingly, that was
listen. I hadn't seen that footage, so y'all didn't rigged up the sign, the wheel, and y'all lost screws, and you kept going.
Kept going. Wait a minute. Gotta keep pushing.
Okay.
We're on a mission.
Okay. So look, I appreciate you sharing your video and calling in. So wait, last thing. Yes, so were there police there?
Yes. They were pulling up while we were still at City Hall, and they were just looking at us. And when they got close enough, we saw that they had their cameras, and they were taking pictures and videos and things like that.
The police?
Yeah, they were there, and there was two vehicles that followed us all the way there from City Hall to his house. And it was actually only one incident with an officer who didn't want to give his name. And that happened, shortly after we left from City Hall. But other than that, there was no problems. We got there. They were kind when we got there. I even asked one of them if I could borrow a pen, and they was cool.
So, you about to get everybody fired now.
Hey, look.
They might be mad. You said that they were nice. They didn't got cussed out today. Okay? Because how dare you? I would have went out. I literally would have went out and talked to them because the police were there. Because if you are making that strong of a point, you work for the people. What is it that, and talk to the people. I would have asked them. Yes. My residents, I'm sorry, they just stop by. They do, and all the time they come to my house and they look. It is not an invite, but people just do. But that's my comfort level. So obviously their comfort level is not that. So I will give them that. That's not their comfort level. But we are public officials. We are.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And so the police were nice to you. So that explains why they was mad the next day. They had gotten cussed out.
They were nice. And we were recording them.
I went
to him. I said, "Hey, you got a pen I can borrow?" He said, "Sure." "Oh, thank you. Look at you. You so kind. Thank you."
Look, I was trying to get that little confiscation money to them. They didn't tick me off. People call them the goon squad. The mayor keeps sending them on missions that hurt the public.
It hurts the public, yes. And it hurts the public's trust. And that's not okay, especially when you're supposed to be for the people. If you're going to be for the people, be for the people. You know what I mean? And so you can't do stuff like that. And then you expect people to trust you or even want to vote for you again, or even rock with you. That's not okay.
That's why LaShawn didn't win. People don't trust the mayor. You cannot rule in the way that you're ruling. You become untouchable. You can't. Like he's a dictator. You have to be approachable. Now, for some saying he come to the house, that was extreme. But they did it to Governor Whitmer. They do it to the White House, but if they come into your house, what are you doing that's making the people come? You must be a terrible mayor if they're doing this. But I'm going to tell you another thing. These people have went and asked to meet with the mayor. He has told them no. He has sent his staff out and refused to see them. So I don't know if he took it to the house because he was refusing the residents. I don't know. I'm gonna let him tell his own story. But so that cart, the screws fell out, y'all. I rigged up the sign, rigged up the wheel. I mean, and you kept on rolling. What's that song?
Kept on rolling.
Right. Kept. Oh yeah. What's that song?
Rolling.
Rolling
Down the river.
rolling down the river.
So listen, thank you for calling in and sharing the story.
Yes,
Look, you have a good night and keep watching. All right. So y'all, that's what happened. I wasn't there. And thank you, Shante, for calling in, because I was like, what happened with the wheel? You know? And so Michael Clack says, as soon as they swear in Miss Bev or Mr. Dumas, y'all should make a motion to have a forensic audit and subpoena Neely about the ARPA fund. Listen, he showed his behind after that election. He knew that she was going to make it in, and the other one he wouldn't. And y'all, them numbers ain't changing. 165 is not changing. They done counted them numbers so many times, it ain't changing. So she can pay for it. She wants to have a recount, which she stated, but the numbers ain't changing. So, I mean, they're done digitally. And for those of you who doubted the city clerk, I'm going to give to, because we will talk about Davina Clerk Donahue, I'm going to give you your flowers today because you made sure your election, your numbers were good. You had 0 discrepancies. You had new cages. You made your absentee ballots. They were put in a secure area. She got the funding and she changed her processes, her procedures, and her policy. And the person over is the election is the deputy clerk, Carlita. So kudos to Carlita for the deputy city clerk and to the city clerk, Davina. I'm gonna give them to him today for that. But Davina, we was looking at you, little shady, because we have some problems, but she took those things on advisement and she changed them. And 165 and 165. So congratulations to AC Dumas and congratulations to Beverly Biggs. The two of y'all are in that race. I wish them the very best. And they're going to try to come and say, we're going to be a write-in. Write-ins don't win. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. I'm just saying. But look, LaShawn, if you watching, girl, if you sticking with that litter league, you going to still do it. Call me. I'm going to help you. I'm gonna help you because that means you're dedicated to the city of Flint. If you need help with your litter league, I'm going to help you because I never met her. She was never disrespectful. We spoke. And so I wish her the very best. Look, you shouldn't have been with the mayor. You might have won. You might have won. Oh, Jason Parker saying we still looking at the city clerk. She not out there. Jason, let's just give her the flowers today. Can we give her the flowers just today? Just today. That's all I'm saying. Just today. Just today. Producer Jay.
I'm just dying at JWC's reaction to your.
Y'all don't know JWC has had many conversations with me about this.
What about the clerk?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a conversation with Councilman Mays. I was like, look, Councilman Mays, Winfrey, give her a check. No, Councilman Mays, no. She's not doing right.
Well, we're gonna give her flowers for doing the selection right and doing it correctly in her learning curve.
I'm not quite sure it was done right. Councilwoman.
Well, let's give her a B+ today. Okay, how about that?
You know why? Because when I went out to the polls, I went over to Foss Avenue, and I felt like she had a cone out there with a sign on it, I guess saying you can't go past this cone. It should have been marked.
Okay, so we're gonna give her an A- then because I'm looking at the numbers. So she can fix the cone. She don't even. I'm gonna give her A-. You gonna give her what? A C+?
I give her a C-. Because
the numbers was like there was 0 discrepancies.
I mentioned this to her before.
So let's do different categories. So with the numbers, and then let's say access, and I will say a C+ for that one because you couldn't get in bursting. And then the line of knowing 100 feet away should have been clear and visible.
It should have been.
Needs to work on that.
And I said that to her before.
Oh, y'all harsh in the comments. Man. Look, them
Look,
numbers came up. Y'all give her the flowers for the day because the numbers.
And the other thing, was it legal for that lady to have that speaker going all day?
You know, they called the police on that, and the neighbor did complain.
That's disturbing the peace to me.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
look,
that's disturbing.
the police
disturbing the
came
peace.
out and said ain't nothing they gonna do about it. I went up there. They said they wasn't gonna do nothing about it, and a neighbor complained. See, it's the difference. Now, only difference is the microphone. Look, I want them to arrest LaShawn and them too. Then we need them to be put in jail. Who was in that car? Because it's the same thing. A megaphone. So I mean, come on now. That was disturbing the peace. They didn't take that other one. So we got to think about that.
And it played all day.
Yeah, I think it was annoying for people too.
It was annoying.
It was annoying. So let's go on to the next one. So we had the meeting tonight. And so I just sent you what to put up next. Okay.
Girl.
So Councilwoman Liddell Lewis, she said, council members, this was tonight at the meeting. We're going to show you the clip of the meeting. So can you start queuing that up for me, producer Jay? I think I sent you the timestamp. So Councilwoman Lewis went home or from her seat or whatever and did this. Somebody sent this to me. It says council members Burns, Winfrey. Girl, she got your hyphen. I'm going to give Liddell Lewis got your hyphen in there. She did do that.
I have my hyphen.
Burns, Winfrey, Carter, Pfeiffer, and Jared voted against autistic children living in the city of Flint.
No,
okay, you can go.
We did not vote against autistic children.
That part.
It is something seriously wrong with her.
Very serious. And we all stated. So Dennis Pfeiffer stated that children in the city of Flint who go to school get $40,000 per year is spent on a child. He did his numbers. If it was wrong, Clack, tell me. Clack, why the clerk should be a dollar. So he said each child gets $4,000 and leave that one up for $40,000 per child. I believe because now there were some questions that we asked, but we're gonna have some discussion. Do we got the video queued up and ready, producer Jay?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we get it going? Y'all tip the producer because I got him working. Yeah, and I give y'all the facts. We do the research. Make sure you got it. Just tip the producer, please. And it's down at the bottom. I can't talk. Down at the bottom, $ producer J 1987. Okay, let's go. Now this is the people for the Hocus Pocus program. I like it, but y'all, we have got a budget time. We took in 64 million, and the mayor's spending 68 million. Anybody good at math with that? And said he gonna work something out with this whole presentation with the 1 minute he gave us. I'm like, dude, you have a basic fundamental problem with mathematics, and I have a balanced budget. No, that's going to be a deficit budget. So these are the people from Hocus Pocus. They wanted money from ARPA. We have been told we need to tighten our belt straps. So let's play this because y'all just saw what she wrote that we voted against autism. She couldn't answer hardly any of the questions, but let's go.
Madam Chair, through you to the speakers at the podium. Yep. I have a question. How many students will you be servicing through this program, Hocus Pocus?
At this point, we're building our connection with the City of Flint schools. And so last year, we served 537 students through this program.
Okay. So with this ARPA money, how many students will you serve from the City of Flint?
So you received a document via email a couple of weeks ago. I also have copies of it here if you would like a copy of it. But our estimate is that the program will serve more than 150 students per residency. He has 3 residencies per year from the City of Flint. So approximately 240 Flint youth in total would be served per year. And that would be an unduplicated number. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the places that we work consistently is Marion Krause Instructional Center, which are severe and profound, nonverbal, medically fragile students. And the work that we do there with the paras, with the occupational therapists. On Monday, I did a training for all of the OTs and PTs that work in the GISD, most of them in the Flint School District, training them on this technique, the occupational therapists and physical therapists. But at MCIC alone, I work with 300 students there, 250 students at Elmer Knopf. Last year, when I was here with DTM, I did every student in the school, not just those students in the special education classrooms. That was 650 students I had the opportunity to touch in 2 days in Flint. So this funding also gives us the opportunity. This time was my first time in Eisenhower. And oh my gosh, the principal, Mr. Thomas, came up afterwards and he was like, I have never seen our special education students so engaged in learning, so excited about learning. So we're expanding within the Flint community schools.
Did you, well, I'm running out of time. I'll say.
Any other discussion in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Real quick, so you say you serve 530 students and about 250 of them are Flint, correct?
So 537 students total last year. Keep in mind that he is going into small groups, special education classrooms.
Okay.
For the most part, he's serving like 8 to 15 students, maybe even fewer sometimes, depending on their needs. But no, that's the estimate I'm giving you is approximately at least 240 Flint youth,
Okay.
Flint residents.
What other communities do you serve?
Currently, just for this residency, Genesee County.
So you serve Grand Blanc,
Yes.
Fenton,
Yes.
Burton, Flushing, Kersley.
Yep.
Nope, not Kersley.
He works also specifically at Elmer Knopf, which also is a center for many different schools in Genesee County.
Okay, so one of my concerns, I know some of my colleagues they were sticklers on not, if you served other communities, and they denied funding for St. Mark's because they fed people in other communities. So I don't know if they're going to hear the support from this now because if children need it. And people learn what we call the multiple intelligence. People may learn from rhyming, seeing their visual, touch, the different sensories. But I do know my colleagues have been very sticklers. They've been sticklers on if your organization just didn't serve Flint, they would not fund it. So, and played recordings. So I don't know, and I know special education and learning, people learn differently. The Flint Public Schools did receive more funds than we did. And I don't know, where does your other funding come from?
It depends year to year. So
Okay.
we have
What is your budget each year?
for this
This
program,
program.
in particular.
Yes.
Yeah. I can get back with you with that information by the end of the day today.
Okay. Okay. All right. I know my time is, but I do, I listen to my colleagues very carefully, and most of us up here are parents, majority. And so that I think that even if we not in agreement, it's not because your project isn't important. We're in budget time. And this budget we have some serious issues. And when we're saying to take money from this to another and colleagues don't support any program outside of Flint, it would be really hypocritical if they decided to for yours. So I yield my time, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Let me stop, Producer J. So one of the
Anyone
things,
else?
they also get the arts millage. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So they get the arts millage every year. It's our budget time. And like I said, that funny math, we spend 64. No, we took in 64, we spent 68. and he gonna work out a deal with the county. Yep. Oh, and philanthropic donors we don't know about. Okay, so we asked her specific questions. Where does your funding come from? I'll get back with you. And when Pfeiffer and you know, she didn't have that. We didn't have, and they serve multiple schools, which is fine. But you get the arts millage. You've got funding too, and we need to look at that. Could be a roof. Not saying this is part of education department, you know, but there's other foundations. She wouldn't tell us and disclose it. She get it from the Ruth Mott Foundation, the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. Where's the funding? She didn't even say that she was getting it from the arts millage.
She didn't even have that in the email that she sent us. The other there are other funders as far as, you know, funding. I mean, they get money from the arts millage. I'm sure they get Ruth Mott money, Mott Foundation money.
Now that to me was a, I mean, and Pfeiffer had some very good questions. What I don't like, and I disagree with Liddell vehemently, because she gaslights and lies this community. We need to figure out what we're going to do. We've got 3 help centers that feed, and none of those, 2 are in Judy's, 1 is in Liddell's, the second more, and we haven't given money. Judy is too scared and petrified to vote for the 2 in her ward because Liddell's going to go at her. Liddell's going to be mad. So Judy we have said, let's pass all 3 at the same time. Pass all 3. They don't want to, and I put up, St. Mark's did not get the 1.5 million. That money was just, he got 1.5 million. He's never been up here. I'm so tired of them telling so many lies. They did not get the 1.5 million. It went to St. Mark's Episcopal Church because we don't have representation. I was told that State Rep Cynthia Neely slowed it down, stopped it, didn't want it voted on. How do you stop? Because, you know, you don't want St. Mark's to get it. I got a problem. And we're looking at, well, they're looking into that. You know, and that to me, you know, you serve that area, or I mean, no, you don't serve it because you're there. You're elected to that area, but you're not serving. So literally with calling around and talking to different people, I'm like, we're not getting any answers. You know, he did not get that money. That money went to St. Mark's Church, which they kept saying, oh no, that money was going to him. He did not get it. It went to Grand Rapids, and Grand Rapids is a much wealthier community than the city of Flint. Much, much wealthier. And so he didn't get the money. Okay. So the other part, anything that you want to say, because I'm not going to keep you on this 12-12. Did you want to take a couple calls? I know.
I'm surprised I didn't sit here and turn into a pumpkin. At midnight, girl. I'm usually asleep.
I know, and I told you, I'm keeping my promise. So I do want to say, if and everyone who was on here, we have over 200 people on here. Somebody tip the DJ. If they call and say he's going to be let out, he will be picked up. They will give enough notice so that he doesn't have to be out on the streets of Flint, just trying to get to where he's going. But look, Sheriff Swanson are not doing them dirty. They are not. The Sheriff's Department is taking very good care. And Jedadiah's words were stellar. So they will definitely let us know. He will speak to everybody about his casket thing. But if you know, and that's for him. So I don't want them saying Tiny Burns has something to do with the casket. Sure didn't. Y'all know my plan, and would have been if I was making that big of a statement, I would have had, you know, it would have been different. Y'all know I may be a little extra sometimes. Thank you for everyone who has donated. Thank you.
I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at the wheels on that casket. And
they didn't rig it up. They Listen, we'll take one call if someone wants to call in to 810-471-7849. Them wheels. Them wheels in the back. Wait a minute. I wonder, was it that back left wheel? Was that one was wrestling ball? That back left wheel was.
Girl, I would have definitely had some stronger wheels on that.
Girl, that part. Listen, they know they needed a little bit more. They know they need them with Jedadiah. These Flint streets, you need some snow tires for our streets in the summer. Okay? You got the wrong wheels now. The cart is called Casket Trucks. Okay, that was from Woodrow Green, which they owned they were the only funeral home for decades, Green Funeral Homes. Is that his father or his grandfather who owned that? It's called Casket Trucks. I didn't know that.
Casket Trucks. Oh.
The casket truck broke down. And they rigged it up to keep on trucking, baby.
The screws and bolts and nuts was flying all over the place.
I was like, where all these people come from? I saw a bearded white man there, and I'm like, where these folks come from? So that was funny. So if we'll take one call or a couple calls, maybe. If you want to call in 810-471-7849. If you want to talk to the senior most councilwoman, Jerry Winfrey Carter, call in 810-471-7849. Woodrow Green said, not meant for the streets. I was nervous. Like,
that's what I was thinking. I tried to visualize this. How did they get the casket from the city hall to Neely's house? And I was like trying to visualize, what did they do?
Listen, that was a rough, and they made
it.
They
were rolling it. Girl.
They rolled it. But I want producer Jay.
I had a question that was put in the chat from earlier, but it's kind of changing the subject a little bit, but I can't find it. I didn't highlight it.
Okay. So what we have to be, and I don't want to miss the message. It may not have liked it at Mayor Neely and State Rep Neely's home, but the message is, we have problems with you. And those were Jedadiah may not be from here, and your activism isn't limited to your city boundaries or a state. They're not. Thank you, Christine Leach. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who is donating. We appreciate you. And so what you have to, the message, the residents are tired. The elections show that they don't want Neely anymore. LaShawn didn't make it because she hooked up with Liddell, Neely, and Candace. People don't want that. They don't want it. They see, like that one video that they got where they was just talking crazy to us. You you're being called BITCHESs, you're being called hood rat, you're being told who the F you talking to. And tonight they threw everybody out for cussing. I wasn't there because the other guy got cussed out, but amazing. I was able to say she said she dropped a few bombs, swear bombs.
And they didn't stop her.
They didn't stop her. Everybody else got put out. Everybody else was back in, they was in the hallway. They were removed. And so those are some of the things that when you look at preferential treatment that the ACLU looks at. And so I don't even know how many people were put out. I don't. But I do want to say congratulations. And so this was really a good one. And I want anything you want to say closing out, because we kind of I'm trying to make sure I covered what I needed to.
I think I'm looking forward to August to see who's going to be in that seat.
Mhm.
And I really think we're going to have, there's going to be some changes made.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm really tired. I never have agreed with throwing residents out of the chamber. You know, that chamber is for the residents.
It's the disrespect. What? That's your one. That's your one.
Yeah, and you can't even, you give them one warning, and then right after the first warning, they're getting a second warning and getting thrown out.
Hey, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Debbie Clark.
Hey.
And I'm sitting here listening to you ladies laugh at us, and the struggle was real. Yes, or Monday. Okay. No man had a belt on. We pulled shit out of anywhere, everywhere. But we
Whose belt did y'all use?
Say it again.
Whose belt did y'all use?
Every man that was there. I think.
Wait a minute.
Johnny D didn't have a belt. Pito didn't have a belt. I don't know. We were taking on anything and everything we could get to put it back together.
Wait a minute. Y'all had people taking the belts off their pants.
We sure did. We sure did. We made it work.
Now what was Tito doing?
He was putting, girl, I felt bad.
I know he was cussing all the way.
It wasn't fun for him. We just say that. And actually, the yellow came in because it was a beautiful white casket. But we started to go, and it slid off. So I happened to find, I believe the yellow things were like people in the chorus strip things that were in the back of somebody's car.
What?
We tried to make it look right. It didn't fall off after that. So I'm saying, kudos to us. You ladies quit laughing at us. We made that.
Listen, that thing, look, it was shaky. It was on shaky ground. We know how Flint streets are. But y'all held it down. Y'all look the real MVPs. Because listen,
Winfrey didn't even call them streets. He called them streets.
I'm just saying, I'm glad that I was in the car, driving, keeping eyes on things, because I wouldn't have wanted to be part of all that, trying to keep that all together.
So how did it feel with you being there? Let's take it before the party to get in the mayor's house, because that's what got Jedadiah put in jail when he hasn't, and arrested. So how did it feel up until the point to where y'all got there?
It was touch and go, because like I said, the same cops, if you watch the whole video, stopped us it was behind the old Cupies downtown.
Okay, Haleburg.
We were right behind there, and the same two cops, because Jedadiah was in the road, and they got out, they had a confrontation, it's all on that video, and they started the shitting it, the asshole one that messed with you last night, he was also being an asshole too. The other cop was trying to be cool as hell, I'll give him that, but those were the two cops that arrested him last night, and they followed us all the way there. And
they didn't arrest nobody.
Not a damn nothing.
How long did y'all stay once you got on the mayor's street?
We were probably there half hour, 45 minutes.
Oh, and he didn't get arrested there?
Nope. And there was two cops directly in front of Mayor Neely's house. There was cops at each corner, and there was undercover cops all along.
So how many cops were there?
At any given time, I'm going to say...
On the street?
On Mayor Neely's street?
Yeah.
Okay, when we finally got there, there was two in front of his house, two that followed us all the way, and then there was one undercover and one Flint police cop car on the opposite, like would have been the east side or west side of the street. I don't know, but there was two cops on each end of this and one in the middle. So there was four cops there. on that, or no, 6 guys
6.
on that block.
So
Yeah,
I was
6.
missing 2. So I didn't watch.
Yep.
So there were 6 officers did not arrest him. And here is my point.
No, there was 2 officers in each vehicle. There were 6 vehicles.
What?
So that was technically, because
6.
it was the special force.
12. Okay.
12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so here's my thing with people. People are like, well, the Jedadiah did this. You don't have an excuse to, just like I read to everybody what your rights are, which they taught. Maybe we need to play that before we go. So Debbie, you a trooper, because I done did some protests. That ain't my kind of protest. I mean,
Yeah, I protested in rain, snow.
I done did snow. I done did rain. The
Oh, yeah,
casket, y'all was some troopers. Y'all done fixed the whole wheel, took people belts. I mean, oh, y'all needed, and it's not what he said. It's a casket truck. So we now know what the casket truck broke down. We needed to have one of them, like a pilot, and he needed to take it to one of them pilots with the trucks.
Well, I really think that Jed underestimated the city's street sidewalks and streets. However, us that live in the hood, we got it together and we got it there.
So what do you think that them arresting him is going to do for the people? I think they're making him a martyr now.
Well, and that's the thing. And Jedadiah is not a stupid man. And he has a reason for everything he does. And Mayor Neely is so absent-minded and egotistical that he's literally made an ass out of himself. And I hope we get to see him in an orange jumpsuit pretty soon. Just saying.
Okay, well, I know you and she shows up to the meetings.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up, her and her sister, they're twins. And so, look, thank you for calling in and sharing it. Look, keep watching. I think
you quit laughing at us because that was not funny. That was a struggle.
We agreeing it was a struggle. It was like the struggle casket truck. It's what it was.
It was the first for me too, but hey, you got to spice of life thing, I guess. I don't know. But I'm glad I was a part of it. And when we started out, there was probably, I'd say 7, 8 people walking. There were several cars. We had a little funeral procession in cars. And by the time we got there, there were literally residents that lived on that street. There was a woman who come out there that was very elderly and disabled, sat in a seat on the sidewalk chanting with us.
Oh, wow.
True story.
So here's the thing with people. We have had almost, and these are his words, and it's really true, almost $1 billion came into Flint. Residents still can't get a affordable water rate. Residents still don't have their roofs fixed. Our roads tore up the casket truck. Okay. Yes, we have so many things, and residents feel left out to where our voting rate is low. People don't vote because they feel most politicians lied to them. So when you have him here, all they want him to do is go home. So if you had total of what, 6 cars, 2 in each, that's 12 officers, and they didn't arrest them, and they were caught. That's why they mad. They done got cussed out today. So I won't, and that's why. And then losing the election too.
He got his behind spanked, and he is not happy.
No, he's not. So I mean, guaranteed. I didn't know it was that many that were there.
It ended up there by the time there was probably, I would say, between. We started out, like I said, there was like 8, and I think there was maybe 8 cars. I don't know how many people in each cars. Mm-hmm. However, by the time we got there, we literally had people that was walking on the street that grabbed their hand, put it on that casket, and helped pushed it. And there was probably 35, maybe 40 people by the time it was over, when we literally made it to that block.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you. I don't want Jerry Ricardo to go to sleep on me. So we're going to thank you. Appreciate you for sharing your story.
Kudos to both of you. I'm proud of you.
Oh, we're proud of you.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye. So I don't know. Do we have time when I was talking to cue the video up, producer Jay? If we don't, we do it another day where we read the rights where he claims that I hadn't even talked to Jedadiah. You know, Pfeiffer got all in to touch the truck and everything in the truck. And, you know, I had to wait to wait for Pfeiffer to come clear it for me. There's some things you can't do as a Black woman that a white man can. And they did it.
Big
Five rolled up in the electric vehicle. roll up. Totally different. And he wasn't smiling. Look, he had a grimace on his face. He was not friendly looking. And he was like, now I'm trying to,
because that was some BS.
It was. Yeah, it was. So the VIP, the casket off the truck, off the church trucks. oh my God. So listen, we learned some new words. Casket trucks. It was casket trucks.
Yeah.
We learned some new stuff. The sign said 2.5 billion invested in jobs. Where that sign that out? The numbers they come up with jobs be a joke. So producer Jay, if you don't have it, we're gonna let Councilwoman Winfrey Carter off. As I play back, that's why them officers was mad. They didn't mayor and cussed out everybody. You getting fired. Wait. You getting fired. You getting fired. You getting fired. You. There they go. You done let that young man come up here from Chicago or whatever and show his behind. He done came up here. Y'all being friendly to him. Arrest him. Well, Mayor, he hasn't broken any laws. Sir, he's been on the sidewalk. The city sidewalk. I want him arrested. Sir, he hasn't broken any laws. And they made a
call to go to the mayor's office. A call to go to the mayor's office.
You know what? Sometimes it's so hard to sit there with a straight face. And you know I'm a laugher. I'm a laugh. I can't even do it's hard.
Listen.
I think I fell out of my seat when he said that.
It's time to go. Gonna get a call to go to the mayor's office. There's some stuff that would come out his mouth. Now, wait a minute. This was the fun. When he told Chief Green, he said, well, was it some women, some girls? We want to know. And then he crossed his legs. And look, everybody was like, yeah, we want to know. We did. Look, we were invested we want to know. I'm like, man, you put him out there like that. And you know how that conversation went. So, what? Who said ghetto? And I think he was mad at both of us at the time when he snapped back in like, no, we rolling together. We was rolling like that casket truck. Oh God. So listen, producer Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't able to get it up. The video. Let me correct myself.
Which one were you talking about?
Oh, never mind. We ain't gonna do it tonight. Look. So for the officers that got probably cussed off, told off, threatened to be fired, reprimanded, rolled up, I'm sorry that happened to y'all. Y'all need to be helping somebody else to elect another mayor because someone who can give you some direction because he done cussed all of them out. He done cussed them all out. Listen, Councilwoman, Senior Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, thank you for it's always a blast with you and sharing your time.
You looked at me tonight like, what you doing? I'm packing up.
I said,
Get ready to go.
and I said, let me get my stuff too. Because y'all know, I told everybody, page 26.
It was turning crazy up in there. It had been crazy. But I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go before I say something. I got to get out of here.
I was like, I'm not doing this today, and I'm like, they want to take shots. I'm not doing it. And it was, some conversations made on the mic. I didn't know the mic was hot, but they're gonna quit coming. I'm not dealing with that stuff. They're rude. Then as soon as Liddell get home like a child she is, she goes and put this lie. We support children with autism. And actually, the four of us are parents. We're parents. And so where the funding comes from, they get a miller. She didn't have that answer. She couldn't tell us exactly.
She didn't have any of the answers.
She had none. Let me get back with you. I'll get back with you. That's not what you do when you're ready to come up for money. And then what they'll do, spin and tell a blatant lie, a big L-I-E. She told the lie. And so that's what they do. To every third ward person that came out and voted, I appreciate you. Now, LaShawn, if you watching, because we know they be watching, if you want to still keep up with your litter thing, you shouldn't have ran with Neely. You probably could have had it. You would have been a contender. But, people don't like Liddell. They don't like Candace. And they've thrown out everybody in the council chambers. Somebody needs to put on the list of everybody. I think I started going with one with Sheena. We need everybody to put out a list. We got some new, what was they? She was calling that guy Mr. Constitution USA. What was she calling him?
He was, I wrote it down. Hold
Did
up.
you write it down?
Yeah.
Mr. For the People.
Yeah. His name is, I'm getting ready to give you his name. Yep. I'm getting ready to give it to you. Jason, We the People. Jason, we Jason, We the People, man. Everybody better get in touch with Jason, We the People.
Look, they threw his behind out too.
But Jason, We the People,
he was reading and he done memorized a lot of that.
Yeah, Jason, We the People. I asked Jason, We the People. I said, listen. I said, would you be willing to help the residents here get together and put in a lawsuit? I said, you see what's going on. This happens every meeting. Residents get put out. So Jason, We the People, he said, well, I'm going to give you my telephone number. You give me yours and we'll talk about it.
Well, people got thrown out tonight and they talk so nasty and their energy was terrible. And Candace started talking mess. I'm like, not tonight. You better go someplace because I don't have the discernment to don't do that. I don't have that. Don't come for me. I don't talk to you. Just and Liddell, just nasty. So
you can't tell people what they can say. you know?
No, you cannot. So I appreciate you. And to everyone who donated, thank you for staying up for or with us. We still have over 200 people watching. So thank you. I know. And when you was like, I'm not gonna be staying on there with you all. Now y'all know she was fussing. Look, Burns. Look, Burns. I'm not telling you now. So, listen.
She said she was gonna throw up them peace signs.
I want to thank everybody, especially you, Senior Councilwoman, for sharing because there's a lot going on and people enjoy actually what's going on. And people, before we go, how do you feel after each council meeting?
Ooh,
And before?
Girl, I just, the next day, I don't want to be bothered. I really don't. And it's so hard because I have to go to work, and it's so hard to deal with people because it's just traumatic. It's a traumatic experience.
It is.
That next day, I really don't want to talk to people. I'm just in myself. It's hard.
And I wanted people to get that, because you and I talk how draining it is. But people really don't get, because you up there, they have some very twisted minds, and they're nasty. And they plot and scam and do all kind of unethical things and talk underneath their breath. I don't remember the day that Candace literally, the whole meeting turned to the side and looked at me the whole meeting. I was like, this heifer is nuts. She was like, is she really? It was like, I'm like, is she crazy? Yes. The answer is yes, 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 yes. And she did this for like an hour and a half. I mean, just bizarre stuff. And so it is difficult, because when we're there trying to focus on the issues, a lot of it gets lost because they have their agendas. They can no longer deliver those 5 votes to the mayor, and it's going to be some change. They're probably going to get even nastier.
Someone said it's mentally draining, and yes, it is. It is mentally draining.
It is. And when you leave, I sent you a picture. Can you put that up, Producer Jay? I mean, when you leave, you be like, I need to just hook up to something else. It drains you. And you got all them personalities and demons floating around up in there. We over there, fighting for our lives, literally. Because and can you messed up my flow, girl? You're not flow rider. You're not no rap star. I mean, you just irritating the hell.
Messed up her flow.
Messed up. And then we're like, what the hell?
That right there.
That right. So after every meeting, we be feeling like need to hook up intravenously to a cocktail, because you got to calm down. It's rough. You don't know where they coming from. The 4 of us have been attacked continuously and religiously. They have attacked at every single level. They have no level of decorum or depths that they won't go. They don't have any. And when you're trying to focus on the agendas, they all over the place, because they'd have met before, texting to each other. This is the most childish thing. And that's why people are tired of the government. You throw the people out, the people go tell people. You talk nasty to the people go tell the people you talk nasty to them. You throw them out for warnings, talk to them, dismiss them. And that's what they do, is tell the other people. They don't want to be bothered. LaShawn shouldn't have hung with them. You might have had a chance. But because she hung around toxic people, you got to watch who you line yourselves with. You do. You do. And so people don't
now she knows.
Yeah, she knows. When Liddell ain't there, Judy a different person. If Liddell and Candace ain't there, Judy is a whole different person. Judy doesn't think for herself. So anyways, I want to say thank you to you again. Thank you to Producer Jay and to each and every one. And I'm glad you came. This was really impromptu. We probably should be up on what's Hurley's at floor 2 with a jacket that tie in the back and with a padded walls.
Right.
And open your mouth, let me take your medication, then lift up your tongue and let me see, because these folks will drive you to the the mental
That's
health
why I
service.
packed up my stuff tonight. I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm getting ready to get out of here because I'm feeling like I'm a blow a gasket.
I was blowing a gasket. I'm like, girl, you want to come for me today? You're gonna get it. I'm tired. So listen, just so before we get off, if Jedadiah calls, we will make sure he gets picked up. Thank you to Sheriff Christopher Swanson, who has taken very good care of him, as they have not charged him or told him what he's charged with. They have not, the city of Flint has not sent the paperwork over. They have not sent the paperwork over. So if he calls, they do some, middle of the night, they let him go. He got several rides. Let that know. Let that be known that people will pick him up. So I want everybody to enjoy their day. Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, you get you some rest, or however, I will talk to you, I know, in the morning. And to each and every one of you, thank you for supporting Flint. Thank you for supporting the Tanya Burns Show. And to my mods, thank you. Appreciate y'all. To Patrick Jean, Sheena B, and to producer Jay, thank you for spontaneously saying, okay, we're going to do this. And putting it on. Because there was literally, this was therapy. This was therapy without the intravenous absolute vodka drip.
And sometimes we got to have this. Sometimes we got to talk about it. Councilman Mays and I, after council meetings, I'm telling you, we would be on the phone till like 3 a.m, laughing and talking about just different things that happened.
And he could stay.
Oh, he was so funny. Oh my God, Councilman Mays was so funny.
And then everybody called, he looped the call in.
Yeah, it would be like 5 people on the line. It would be a party line.
It was a party line with them sad love stories that I call tragedy. Man, let me tell you, man, that woman, who I'm telling you. I'm like, those are not love stories, Mays. Those were all tragedies. They didn't work out. But he was that guy. But when I saw that, I was like, look at the Mays hottie picture. He was a hottie back in the day. I'm like, wow, look at hottie Mays. Anyways, so I appreciate each and every one of you. Berta Baby, Patricia Adams, Kamala Buford. Look, y'all know I ain't gonna be able to call all these names. DeAndre Jones, Renee Jackson, Yvette Bailey, LaDonna, Damien, Christopher Sims, and I think JP6 and Drew. And we had a lot. Y'all hung in there with us. I'm serious. Woodrow Green, Christine Leach, A. Jones, Kenneth. When the jig is up, folks. Wait, this is a good one. When the jig is up, folks get nervous. That's why I hadn't seen that one. That is true. Jessica Stewart. Hey, Eugenia Cersei. DeAndre Jones. Y'all, everybody that was in here. Aaliyah, still standing strong. Renee Jackson. I don't like that everybody interacts. I appreciate y'all. I may have to, y'all helped us with our therapy. Nancy Adams, we making it to the next day. So this was therapy for us. So producer Jay, I'm sending love to everybody because love, Big Shady. 200 MD. I ain't never seen the wheels on the casket go falling through the town. That's like the wheels of the bus go round and round. That's 2000 MD. That's a new one. Welcome to the Tanya Burns Show. Listen, if I didn't say your name, 580 Mafia Records should have played the Eric Mays audio at the poll. We should have, they would have arrested us. But we really should have. Really should have. And so listen, to each and everybody who joined, thank you. If I didn't say your name, charge it to my mind, not to my heart. We try to go through. Y'all know I can't keep up with these comments. Thank y'all for Alicia Russell. That's a new one. Thank you for joining. Tasha Lynn, hey girl. And so if I did not see, and y'all, I'm gonna be here. If I did not call your name, charge it to courtesy to my mind, not my heart. And so, and I want to say, because I support women supporting women, and I am supporting my Black sister, and And Christ to you, J. Winfrey Carter, you are that woman. I appreciate you.
And you are that woman.
You are that woman. You wrote that stuff. I was like, dang, she mad.
Look, I can only write like that when I get angry.
Listen, let me make you mad and have you write some stuff for me. Because you read, you served, you ate. Listen, I was like, what? Oh, she big mad. Listen, I started sending it to people. It was so good. So,
well, you know, when you turn 60 years old, things start changing in your world. And you've been holding things in. I said, you know what? I'm going to say what I got to say because I'm 60 years old. Bam.
And you said it so very well. So, with them fans at.
And I'm going to learn how to do my fan.
Listen, that part. Listen, and when I learn the what's the name, I'm gonna do it in the middle of the thing because we don't have to take everything so serious. Not during the meeting. They did not do the boots on the ground during the meeting. They had an hour and 35-minute wait on them. An hour and 35 minutes. Don't let me learn it, y'all. Y'all gonna be sick of me. Be like, I'm telling you, I got the fan down.
I got
the
steps. You know, I got the first part, but crossing over and stuff, I got to get that.
I got it. I got that part. But you got to practice it every day. I'm going to have to give it my black card. I might not be able to check the black box because I'm like 5 different colors. So listen, I need to be in the sun. I'm serious. I'm like, I think my feet, the top of my feet is the same color as the bottom of my feet. Okay?
Oh, God.
I need some sun. Anyways, we're going to get off of here.
Good night.
Good night. Let's put the music going out, Producer Jake. Thank y'all. Sending y'all love. Thank y'all. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good night, all.
It's the tongue you burn show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tongue your burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. We fail.